Dr. Shabir, there are many students, university students, who are burning the midnight oil these days. They're studying for exams. And the question is, how do you manage that, studying for exams and fasting at the same time?
Yeah, it is a problem. And seeing, on a quick Google search, you will find many articles dealing with this. For example, there's a University of Calgary website article, probably put out by the chaplains there, recommending for students what they should do, how to prepare for exams, how to study, and so on. And of course, they always ask the question whether or not students have to fast, or do they have some leeway on what to do. So looking at the Muslim fatwa sites, one finds generally that the fatwa sites are saying, okay, it's an obligation, and because taking exams is not one of the things listed in the classical sources as giving you an exemption, we work with the presumption that you still have to go ahead and do the exam while fasting. Mm-hmm. And on the other hand, we find many students reporting that they're doing fine. They've been, and even some successful people who have become doctors and so on now, they said, okay, we were fasting, we were doing our exams at the same time, and it's no sweat. But of course, one should not take it lightly. One should practice some good procedures and habits to get oneself prepared for the exams. And having said all of that, there are some sites which show a slight bit of leniency towards allowing students, in case they were finding fasting while having the exams too much of a burden, to do something different, maybe fast an equal number of days later when they do not have exams, for example.
What do you think, Dr. Shabir? What is your perspective on this issue?
Well, I think all of the above are applicable. One should practice good habits, eat well and during the nighttime when we're allowed to eat, and eat healthy foods so that you're not overburdening your system in a different way. Be sure to wake up in the morning for your suhoor. If you need to conserve your time so you get a better night's sleep, then you can look to shave off things which are not so essential to Ramadan. For example, the Taraweeh prayers is a good thing, nice to have in Ramadan, and the community should certainly have it. But individuals can choose, depending on their own schedule and their own needs. So students in particular, especially pressed with exams, can, instead of praying Taraweeh in the mosque, they can pray at home. Instead of praying 20, they can pray 8 rakats or 8 cycles of the prayer. Instead of reading long recitations, they can read short, get a good night's sleep, and then they're better prepared for the exams, which are generally in the early hours of the day anyhow, when the energy levels, even for a fasting person, are still good. If you want me to add something more about this, looking at a lenient fatwa, we can see that Sheikh Ahmed Kuti, who is one of the most well-known scholars in the Greater Toronto area, has a website, askthescholar.ca, and he answers questions. One of the questions was from a student in the UK who said, we have these long hours of fasting and exams coming up. Can I forego the fasting during that period? And he suggested basically that if this is becoming a real problem, making you dysfunctional and a lot of that, then you can delay the fasting until later in the year, perhaps when it is winter time and the hours will be shorter.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you, Dr.
Sure, you're welcome.
On behalf of Let the Quran Speak, I want to say thank you. You've helped us become the most widely watched Muslim TV show in Canada. I want to appeal to you to continue to support us. You can visit our website, QuranSpeaks.com. We also accept e-transfers to igive@QuranSpeaks.com. And we're now on Patreon, so you can make a monthly contribution. May God bless you and your loved ones today and always.